our Hippify cleansing milk, which gives our skin that first dose of the Hippify berry. And every single product, it is all natural with certified organic extracts. It is 100% paraben free. Most of the products are gluten free and vegan as well. This is a treatment that actually feels more or less relatively gentle, so you don't have to really prep your client as you would with like a more aggressive treatment such as the menopausal one. You don't need numbing cream. It's not painful or uncomfortable, and even with the 0.5 roller, you're still working epidermally, so the client doesn't get uncomfortable or have even any kind of bleeding that you have to worry about. So now we get our first dose of the Hippify berry. And with the Hippify berry, which is in a lot of the steps of the treatment, Hippify berry is also known as sea buckthorn. It's also known for having a nice high concentration of folic acid, which is great for boosting cell regeneration. And remember not to neglect the lips or the eyes. This is a treatment where we incorporate everything. Our next step of the treatment is the Soy Beauty Velvet Skin Polisher, and that gives the skin the first dose of the patented soy complex, okay, which we spoke about, has that age reversing effect. And just so you notice, you have to press the product out because it is a very thick formula, okay? So you need just a little bit. So the reason it is a very thick formula is because it is your traditional gommage formula, meaning you can apply it, let it set, and then roll it off, or you can work with it more manually. I like to work with it a little bit more manually because it is a gommage. It still will roll off, but it gives you a little bit more kind of massaging power. So you have the gentle micro granules in here to exfoliate, and in addition, just the traditional gommage exfoliating effect as well. We're getting the first dose of the patented soy complex in there, which will have that internal balancing effect. I added a little bit of water. So if you were going to work with it as a traditional gommage, you would apply it almost like a mask, let it set, roll it off. Yeah, very traditional. In this treatment, I do like to work with it more manually. You'll find after your first treatment, you'll kind of find the technique that you want to use for this. And you massage and exfoliate the area. So first of all, we're getting our first dose of the patented soy complex in there. You're also boosting blood circulation in here, which is great in general. And besides that, it has the geranium flower in there, also ginkgo, very, very rich. For demo purposes, we will continue. You just want to remove it with like a warm towel. And also, the people sitting in the front, especially, I'm sure you'll notice how with every step, the skin is getting brighter and tauter. And we're only up to step 2, so it will get more and more fun. So the next step of the treatment is our freshener. So it just allows for the skin to have a nice botanical dose and also have a little bit of that pH balancing effect. Yes, so you want to press it into the skin. So you put a few drops in your palms and press it into the skin. Our next step is the hyaluronic acid beauty shot step. So here, we're giving the skin a nice high dose. It's 70% pure hyaluronic acid, which is, it's like 100%. You can't get higher than that. And it also has an addition of panthenol, which is a highly concentrated form of vitamin B. And vitamin B, we know it has stress relieving, kind of de-stressing effect on the skin. It's boosting as well. So, and right now, remember I said everything we apply on the skin right before the microneedling, and everything we'll apply right after is going to be injected through all those hundreds and thousands of microchannels that we create. So at this point, we're going to incorporate the microneedling, and we're also going to allow for that large hyaluronic acid molecule to penetrate into the epidermis. So now, besides the topical hydration, we're going to allow for that large molecule to plump from the epidermis. You're also going to get those first doses of the HIPAA berry in there, and the first doses of the patented soy complex. Your starter package includes two size rollers, the 0.25 and 0.5. And remember, as I said, the skin thickness around your eyes is 0.05 mm. The rest of your face is 0.15. So the 0.25 is usually your go-to roller. The 0.5 roller you work with if somebody already has some kind of deeper kind of blemishes or scarring, or deeper lines, okay? So 0.25 will get us into the epidermis, which is where we want to go. The technique of rolling is up and down, side to side, diagonal one way, diagonal the other way. On average, you're rolling over any one area about 8 to 10 times. So you can use a beaker. Your starter package does include the sterilizing solution, or you can use something very practical like a shot glass, because really only the head of the roller needs to be immersed into the sterilizing solution. So the sterilizing procedure, it's very simple. You just want to make sure you go through it. I'm going to begin rolling on this side, and I'll continue talking about the sterilizing process. So, first of all, the technique, as I mentioned, it's up and down. How do you feel?
Great.
She feels great.
Doesn't hurt at all.
So first of all, I always like to relate that first contact of the roller to the skin as a first date. Very, very light. I'm introducing her to it. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. And then you can continue to build the pressure, okay? So up and down, side to side. Diagonal one way. And diagonal the other way. Okay, if a client has like inflamed breakout, infected area, or infected acne spot, you would roll around it. The skin will benefit from all of the beauty shots, just don't microneedle over those areas. Once the infection is gone, it will actually speed up the recovery of the blemish with the action of the HIPAA stem cells. Or if a client has a mole. If you find that you want to start from the top, that's absolutely fine. The skin is exactly where it stays in place. You're just creating the microchannels around its kind of static position. Okay, so the eye, you just want to kind of hold it to make sure you get the whole area. Very light. The pressure that you use on the eye, I always say, like if you swung your arm, the roller would go flying. That's how light pressure you use. So our next step of the treatment is the botanicord complex. It gives the skin the next dose of the hippophia berry. It has a small percentage of cortisone to calm if there's any kind of sensitivity or redness. Has tons of other calming botanicals, a little bit of tea tree oil, which has the disinfecting antimicrobial properties. And of course, it does give the skin a nice calming effect. I had a question, well, what if a client is super sensitive? Can I put something beforehand just to calm their skin? If you have a client that is super sensitive, you can apply the botanicord complex before the rolling as well. So we're getting the next dose of the hippophia berry. Next one is the stem cell eye complex. It is one of the 2 recommended home care products. So this gives the skin a nice high dose of the stem cell, the Malus domestica. It has a nice dose of the resveratrol beauty shot, hippophia berry, the patented soy complex, and it also has acai berry as well. So really phenomenal ingredients. You'll find that you'll have clients who aren't even quite ready to come in for the non-surgical treatment who are buying this product off your shelf as a home care product, just in general. And the aroma in the product, as I mentioned before, it is all natural. It smells like whatever extracts are in there. The next step of the treatment is the stem cell face complex, which has the same doses of all of the beauty shots, and this is formulated to get best penetration for the rest of the face. So with this starter package, you're able to do at least 43 to 45 treatments. I did go over the lips, so I know you want to get everything. And as I said before, in actual treatment, I do go all the way down to the décolleté. Great question. As far as extractions, if it's like 2 little blackheads, that's fine. But if it's like a full-on extraction, I would switch off. 1 session cleansing, 1 session non-surgical, like every 2 weeks or so, switch it off. The last step of the treatment is the Soy Doctor Ultralight Moisture Screen SPF 30. Even if you are doing an evening facial, you will finish the treatment with this product. First of all, it gives the final dose of the hippophia berry. It gives the final dose of that patented soy complex. Yes, it also has a environmental kind of protection factor with SPF 30, but you're also kind of sealing off and covering and letting everything penetrate and continue to work on that epidermal and dermal level without anything else going in. Very light formula. One thing I wanted to mention, for your male clients, I usually tell them to shave at least 2 hours before. If they aren't going to shave, then you would go through the whole treatment, you would microneedle over the upper area of their face. I'm very excited to show everybody the after, especially people sitting up front. I'm sure you saw her skin transforming with every step. How do you feel?